the host city for this year's shareholders meeting. I take this opportunity to say please do feel very much at home. Karibuni sana kwetu Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier this year I had the privilege to meet with Africa 50's CEO, Alain Ebobisse, a meeting which focused on Africa 50's interest in investing here in Kenya, in sectors such as transport and energy that are central to the realization of my administration's Big Four agenda. Indeed, it was a pleasure to consult on these matters and to find partners devoted to the development of African infrastructure. But perhaps I should start by saying a little more about our own Big Four agenda. This is an agenda that has a single aim: to improve the lives of Kenyans by ensuring that all of us are food secure, that we have a decent roof over our heads, and that everyone has access to affordable health care, and that more jobs are created in the manufacturing sector. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that infrastructure development is crucial, because none of these goals will be met without a functioning, effective infrastructure base. It is indeed a key enabler for other aspects of development to be sustained. Manufacturing, for example, will grow and create jobs which we need across the African continent to provide jobs for our youth. And this can only again happen if we are supplied with adequate and reliable energy. The need for sustained investment in energy generation and transmission is therefore a priority for us and has been so for the last 5 years. Let me at this point highlight some notable milestones that we have made in revitalizing our physical infrastructure. Over the last 5 years, we have widened access to power across the country. Once, 5 years ago, only 20% of our households had access to power. Today, I'm proud to say that 60% have access to power. In other words, in 5 short years, we have more than tripled access to electric power. Indeed, we now have, and by some distance, the best electricity access rate in East Africa. That is proof, if I may say so, of my administration's commitment to aggressively fast-tracking economic development through infrastructure investment. My administration's focus is on developing world-class infrastructure for all. Investment, after all, tends to follow infrastructure, and businesses go where they can move people, move goods, and move services more efficiently. I want to take this opportunity to thank the African Development Bank for recognizing our infrastructure development milestones and thank them for the honor that they awarded me with the Africa Development Bank Award in May of this year for infrastructure development. Asante sana, Bwana Chairman. Thank you. To receive it was to recognize the work that dedicated Kenyans have done in the last 5 years, in the hope it would spur us to reach to even higher levels of socio-economic development. All of us, I included, and all the teams that I lead, look forward to redeeming in full our promises to the people of this republic. Ladies and gentlemen, whereas we have made commendable strides in accelerating infrastructure development in Kenya, more remains to be done. The political will to take us to the next level certainly exists. This is true not only here in Kenya, but in many African nations represented here this morning. But the challenge remains. Public funding is limited, and there are competing priorities. And one answer to that challenge ought to be perfectly clear to all of us. The private sector must step up and help us close the infrastructure gap on the African continent. I am delighted to note that the Africa 50 is leading a fresh approach to infrastructure investment, one that merits the support of every government on our continent. For our part, we feel that the time has come to show our faith in Africa 50's mission. And that is why today I am pleased to announce that Kenya will double its current shareholding in Africa 50, raising its investment now to US dollars 100 million. Our view is that the investment is amply justified. Africa 50 has pledged its support to Kenya's Big Four agenda and also to other major investments across the African continent. In Kenya, Africa at 50 has joined us in major public-private partnership projects in the energy sector. One project that we hope to conclude soon will extend close to 300 kilometers of high-voltage transmission lines to Western Kenya, bringing electricity to households and business and supporting the region's economic growth as well as social development. Additionally, Africa at 50 has demonstrated a very strong interest in developing and financing projects in transport, midstream gas sectors. Specific projects have been identified and discussions to define the next steps have begun. My fellow Africans, I believe that African leaders have shown overwhelming support for transformative initiatives such as the Continental Free Trade Agreement. And I can only hope that our courage does not fail us now that Africa 50 has come calling. The fund, ladies and gentlemen, presents a unique approach to bridging the continent's infrastructure gap. With Africa 50, it is possible to operate commercially in Africa's infrastructure space and make a reasonable return on investment, while at the same time transforming the lives of our continent's 1.2 billion people. That proposition ought to be especially attractive to long-term institutional investors on the continent who will rightly see Africa 50 as a dependable partner. Let me conclude my remarks by reassuring you, as a pioneer shareholding country, as one of the pioneer shareholder country in Africa 50, Kenya firmly believes in the fund's bold vision for our continent. We will remain a strong and committed partner, ready to cooperate on projects that transform the lives of our people here in Kenya, as well as on the continent at large. When we were having our remarks before we came into this room, I indeed stated that if African private capital is not willing to invest on the African continent, how can we expect anybody else to? We must have the confidence, the trust to invest in our own continent. And that is why I am appealing to all shareholders today. Let us make our contribution. Let us grow this fund. Let us make this Africa 50 a success. Let me conclude also by taking this opportunity to urge all of you who have visited us and are present here today to take time to visit and explore Kenya, which is your second home. Kenya is a land of breathtaking beauty, rich cultural diversity, and warm hospitality, and I am sure our chairman, Bwana Adesina, can vouch for that. So, It is with great pleasure that I now take this opportunity to officially open this shareholders meeting to wish you every success. And I look forward to seeing in the future many, many more bankable projects coming out of our continent, funded with the support of Africa at 50 and other private sector investors, and to say that our role, again, as governments, for those who represent governments here, must also be to ensure that we become facilitators and not obstacles to private sector investment. We need to act with speed, and we need to act with urgency. Our people expect nothing less. May God bless you, and I wish you every success. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Na mtazamaji, basi huyo hapo ni Rais Uhuru Kenyatta ambaye amemaliza kutoa hotuba yake katika mkutano ama hafla hii ya wenye hisa wa Africa 50, ambao basi ni mkutano ambao unalenga sana miundombinu katika hili bara la Afrika, mtazamaji, ikiwa ni mara ya kwanza kabisa huo mkutano kuweza kufanyika humu Afrika Mashariki na hasa hapa nchini Kenya. Na walihudhuria basi ni pamoja na Uhuru Kenyatta na vile waziri wa masuala ya fedha humu nchini Bwana Henry Rotich, kati ya viongozi wengine wengi tu kutoka maeneo haya ya Afrika Mashariki. Na mtazamaji, basi ni hafla ambayo inatendeka katika hoteli iliyo pale maeneo ya Westlands, hoteli ya Kempiski, na hafla hiyo basi inazidi kufuatiliwa na mwanahabari wetu wa masuala haya ya biashara ambaye ni Julie Owino katika hoteli hiyo. Atakuwa anatujuza mengi tu kuhusiana na mkutano huu na ni yapi ambayo aliweza kuafikiwa na kuzungumziwa katika huo mkutano, mtazamaji. Kwa hivyo nakumbusha tena kuwa ni mkutano wa wenye hisa katika Africa 50, mtazamaji, ambao ni mara ya kwanza kabisa kuweza kufanyika humu nchini Kenya na hasa maeneo haya ya Afrika ya Mashariki. Na siku leo basi lengo kuu ni miundo mbinu ya bara la Afrika.